All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone, who do rule and teach well. Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Barakatham, to all the sincere believers out there listening and learning, the household of faith, diligently laboring in His truth and all righteousness and sincerity, occupying in the prophecies until all is fulfilled, and Lord will, we are redeemed. So, back in the news with these tariffs, what I'm saying, just going into effect today. And of course, as expected, as it was going to happen, what was that, back in January when Trump first came in and he imposed it, but he pretty much laid it off until now. Well, as we've expected, Canada, Mexico, and China all together have imposed retaliatory tariffs back on America, which pretty much means that the 25% on imports that apply to Canada and Mexico, pretty much now those same countries are putting that same rate of tariff back on America. All right, so you already know what's coming behind this. All right, and this is all a stage. This is all to bring in a carbon tax. All right, because ultimately, this is going to hurt the economy. I mean, Trump already told you that, yeah, you are going to feel it in the short term, but in the long term, it's going to be beneficial for America, and that's going to be no such thing. All right, because the president of Mexico, who's she's a small hat. All right, Claudia Sheinbaum, and Justin Trudeau, the PM of Canada, they're both what? Young global leaders. So they're plugged in with the Club of Rome. They're plugged in with the WEF, and they're all working in tandem to bring forth this fourth industrial revolution. And China is also working with America. See, one thing you got to understand is that when you get into biblical prophecy, all right, all the nations that were confederate to come against the Israelites to take us down, they all working together. All right, now, do they have differences, disputes, going on behind the scenes between land and resources? Yeah, of course. All right, because at the end of the day, they all working together to bring forth this, new world. But at the end of the day, Esau is still the devil. All right, so these nations have a problem with the way that Esau is moving. You know what I'm saying? Because Esau may be using these nations, mainly China. You know what I'm saying? Because with Canada and Mexico, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to bring forth this North American Union, which is pretty much, going to eliminate the borders between Canada and Mexico and unite pretty much the whole of North America as one. All right. And that's all also a part of the NWO. You see, but all this is a stage, man. You know what I'm saying? Even going back to 2020 with that Wuhan, all right, with that pestilence that came about, China was in on the whole thing. You see? And you even had Klaus Schwab praise China for the government that they got going on over there. You see, he said that China, the form of government that's going on in China is an exemplary form of government to implement in the NWO. So all these nations are on board, and these back and forths, these trade wars, it's all deliberate, man, because they're looking to bring forth what? A new world order, a new global order. All right. So Canadian province leader threatens to cut off energy to 3 U.S. states and impose 25% surcharge. All right, so prepare for your utilities to go up once again. All right, like look, let's say if you paying $250 for utilities now, we'll expect it to go up another $100 to $200, man. All right, because Canada now is threatening to cut off energy supply to America. Okay, expect the price of gas and oil, natural gas to go up as well behind these tariffs.
Trump announced that a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico will go into effect in early March. The announcement comes after a brief pause as the countries scrambled to make border security agreements with the White House. At a factory in Juarez, Mexico, LaCroix makes electronics for multiple industries from medicine to automotive.
El cliente final es el que va a pagar el arancel, porque todo el mundo le va a hacer el cargo al arancel y podría inclusive Estados Unidos llegar a una situación también grave.
Tariffs can increase prices for consumers, according to economists. In a press conference, the president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, said she's confident she'll be able to make a deal with President Trump.
También el objetivo pues es proteger el tratado comercial México.
And that's crazy because she's a small hat. You know what I'm saying? Claudia Sheinbaum, you know, which that whole election they had in Mexico, it was set up for her to get up in there because she's a young global leader. You know what I'm saying? So when you put the pieces together, it all makes sense.
Estados Unidos y Canadá, y en ese marco pues ver qué acciones se pueden desarrollar para poder fortalecer las tres economías.
All right, so it says the head of the Canadian province of Ontario has repeatedly promised strong retaliation against the U.S. tariffs going into effect against Canadian goods, ensuring, quote, America feels the pain. President Donald Trump announced Monday the delay on tariffs against Mexico and Canada was over, and thus a 25% tax on most imports from the trade partners went into effect after midnight. Ontario Premier Doug Ford, leader of the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario, said at a press conference Tuesday he would apply a 25% surcharge on energy exports to New York, Michigan, and Minnesota, and will consider restricting the electricity exports down the line if the tariffs persist. So pretty much the longer that these tariffs continue, the worse it's going to get for America. All right, it says a tariff on Canada is a tax on Americans, Ford said. I will do everything, including cut off their energy with a smile on my face, and I encourage every other province to do the same. Ontario is Canada's second largest energy producer, with most of its power coming from uranium. Now let's just do this real quick, right? How much energy does Canada supply to the U.S.? Just to see how much of a factor. Let's see this. It says Canada supplies a significant amount of energy to the U.S., providing approximately 60% of its crude oil, 99% of its natural gas, and about 85% of its electricity imports. The relationship is crucial for both countries' energy security and economic stability. So what are the odds, right? That all of a sudden Trump comes in unprovoked, all right? Because Canada and Mexico have been doing business with America for all these years, and all of a sudden, you know, Trump comes in and he's like, now we're going to slap tariffs on these nations. And as you see here, all right, majority of the energy that we get, you know, comes from, Canada. All right, so the fact that these, the Canadian PM is talking about, slapping, tariffs on imports and cutting off the electricity, man, it's going to be big for the economy here in America. That means the businesses, the prices to operate is going to go up. Salakia, for the average everyday American, your home utilities are going to go up. The price of gas, you know what I'm saying? Just the price of everything in general is going to go up. All right. Then China, I mean, shit, look, we get everything from China. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that he's putting tariffs on China now, what do you think he's doing all this for? He's doing all this to squeeze these Americans more. All right. And this is that causation to get you to opt in to the MOTB. You see? This is all what it's moving towards, man, as we always go into. Check this out. International Chamber of Commerce gives grim warning regarding tariff war. The global economy stands at a precarious crossroads as escalating tariff disputes threaten to plunge the world into a crisis reminiscent of the Great Depression. And that's what we're coming into, man. All right, because we're already in a recession. Nobody's buying homes like that. The price of a new vehicle was like sky high, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much everything is out of reach for most people, man. Majority of Americans don't even have anything left in their savings because they're having to pull all the money out. All right, people are clearing out the 401k, they're maxing out multiple credit cards. So people definitely feeling the squeeze, and they ain't seen nothing yet. But we're coming into a second Great Depression. And I remember doing a lesson a while back, maybe about a year, 2 years ago, in which I went into everything that happened with the first Great Depression that led up to it. It's the same thing that's happening now. Okay, Lord will I can find that, put it in the community tab. But we coming into a second Great Depression, man. And see, this one is actually going to be worse than the first Great Depression, because at least during the first Great Depression, people were more self-sufficient. They were more self-sustaining. Now people have gotten so used to depending on the government for support, for handouts, for everything, that people really gonna lose their minds during this time, man. Okay, people gonna lose everything. You see that the government jobs are going away, and these tariffs that Trump is imposing, that's gonna affect the private sector. So even private jobs, okay, private employers are gonna be affected by these tariffs as well. You see? Yeah, it says threatened to plunge the world into a crisis reminiscent of the Great Depression of the 1930s, according to a stark warning from the ICC. As the Wall Street Journal reported, Andrew Wilson, the ICC's Deputy Secretary General, expressed deep concern over the U.S.'s recent imposition of steep tariffs on imports, particularly from key trading partners like Canada, Mexico, and China. Our deep concern is that this could be the start of a downward spiral that puts us in 1930s trade war territory. It says, this is the act that was imposed during the Great Depression. It says, stating, invoking the historical precedent of the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. Let's get into that real quick. Let's see what that dealt with. All right, let's do this. Smoot. What is the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act? The Tariff Act of 1930. So this was implemented at the beginning of the Great Depression. It says commonly known as the Smoot-Hawley Tariff or Hawley-Smoot Tariff was a law that implemented protectionist trade policies in the U.S. sponsored by Senator Reed Smoot and Representative Willis C. Hawley. It was signed by President Herbert Hoover on June 17, 1930. The act raised U.S. tariffs on over 20,000 imported goods. The tariffs under the act, excluding duty-free imports, were the second highest in United States history, exceeding by only the tariff of 1828. All right, so back then, and see, when you understand what really happened during the Great Depression, that was the small hats, pretty much taking control of America through the finance, okay? Because the small hats during that time, they controlled the stock market. Then when the stock market crashed in 1929, 1930, the very next year, that's when they brought in the tariffs, all right? And for that whole decade of the 1930s, shit was rough, all right? America really didn't get out of that economic slump until about 15, 16 years later at the end of World War II. You know what I'm saying? That's when the economy started to bounce back. And then, of course, you had the golden age of America in the 1950s and early 60s. All right? So these same things are coming back, man, and these devils are setting it up. All right? So this is why it's important to understand history when you get into these prophecies, man, because, the Lord, brings things back around full circle. All right, nothing new under the sun. The Wall Street Journal highlighted the severity of the situation, noting that U.S. latest tariff measures imposing a 25% duty on imports from Canada and Mexico, alongside threats of even higher tariffs on Chinese goods, which again, we get most of the goods that we consume from China, echo the protectionist policies of the past that led to economic devastation. So there you go. All right. Now you can get into the rest of this article, to check it out. But, that's pretty much the synopsis of all this. Okay. Now, when you go to Revelation, the 6th chapter, all right, It speaks about that inflation, man. It speaks about, Revelation 6 in verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Okay. So a measure of wheat for a penny, when you go into a penny, it goes into a day's wages. All right. 3 measures of barley for a penny. All right. So you're going to be given a day's wages for a very small amount of food. You see? So, these are the times that we're coming into, man. Super high inflation, eventually hyperinflation. The dollar is going to collapse, and that's when they're going to set up this carbon tax system. All right, in which you're going to have to opt in order to receive rations, in order to, have some kind of comfort in the system. And ultimately, it's all going to lead to the MOTB. All right, this is where all the roads are leading to the MOTB, because even Aaron Russo told you that. All right, Aaron Russo told you in the interview that he said when he talked to Nick Rockefeller, when he was talking about all the plans that they want to do and moving into the New World Order, he pretty much asked him, well, what's the point of all this? Like, well, why do you want to enslave humanity? And Aaron Russo said that Nick Rockefeller told him that the goal or the end goal is to get everybody chipped. Okay, so that's the end goal, is to get you to, take that MOTB. And when you look at this article right here, okay, from biometricupdate.com, this society is moving into this, B system phase, okay, where they're implementing biometrics, okay, which is basically measuring your body, measuring your life force, and they're going to apply it to a carbon tax. I'm saying they're going to apply it to, where you're able to access, okay, and ultimately it's going to verify you as a member of this B system. All right. So this is why they're going to want to insert that chip in your right hand or in your forehead. Okay, as Yuval Harari said, surveillance under the skin. So these devils want to know everything that you think and everything that you are, everything that you do, and be able to track you at all times. That's why now you got the Starlink that's out here. Okay, Starlink, no matter where you are, you can be in the middle of the damn Grand Canyon and we'll be able to know exactly where you are. You see what I'm saying? So they're putting it out there as a thing of convenience. Like they showed you that during the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Switch over to T-Mobile and get Starlink for free and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's all to get you to, is to condition you into this new system, man, to make you believe that these things are for your benefit and for your convenience, that we're moving into a new age. All right? Now, a lot of people are waking up to what's going on, but see, the thing is, it's not going to matter if you know or not, because when they put the squeeze on you and they take everything away as they're already doing, you're not going to have a choice. Okay, the only ones that's going to stand firm and it's going to resist are the ones that have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, because like you are going to have protests, you are going to have, it speaks about in 2nd Ezra's, sedition amongst men. So you are going to have rebellion, but at the end of the day, once these people don't have no food to eat, and once they lose everything, that's when they're going to fold. You know what I'm saying? That's when the fight is going to be up and they're going to give in. All right, but the hopefully elective Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to stand firm through all the trials and tribulations that's going to come on this earth. Okay, so this is at the State Farm Arena, which is the home of the Atlanta Hawks. It says Wicked facial authentication powers Verizon biometric entry at State Farm Arena. All right, so biometric entry pretty much goes into scanning your eyeballs, scanning your fingerprint, what else? Palm readers and stuff like that. That's an example of biometrics, something that you are, right? It says Atlanta Hawks fans can use fly-through lanes, concession stands enabled with computer vision. So another thing about this is as well, if you opt in to use the biometrics, then you'll be able to, as it says here, fly through. All right, so you're not going to have to stand in no line. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have to, wait on nothing. Pretty much, if you opt into the biometrics, it's going to be much more convenient for you than the average person. So this is going to cause people to opt into the biometrics, man, because it's going to be a thing of convenience. All right, just like how I went into the lesson yesterday to come May 7th. If you don't have that real ID, they're going to make it so tedious for you just to get through the damn airport that people are going to just be like, forget it. I'm going to just get the real ID so I don't have to do all this. You know what I'm saying? So ESOL going to make it hard for you to not be a part of this system. You know what I'm saying? This is how he's going to cause you to take that MOTB. A major technology partnership between Verizon and State Farm Arena will see the deployment of Internet of Things. Okay, and that's a big thing in this fourth industrial revolution. The Internet of Things, the Internet of bodies, okay? Making the environment around you smart. And this also goes into these smart cities that they're building as well. Just look to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? They burnt down, how many thousands of acres out there. And they're going to rebuild it to be a smart 15-minute city in which biometrics is going to be a main feature of how you're going to exist in that society. Okay? It says sensors, cashierless checkout, and accelerated entry lanes leveraging face biometrics from Wicked. Let's get into Wicked real quick. Let's see what that goes into. Wicked is a computer vision AI company that reduces friction, enhances customer experience, and empowers facility staff in sports and entertainment, retail, real estate, and enterprises by enabling facial ticketing, facial access control, audience analytics, guest management, and security alerting. Okay, so Wicked, there goes that AI. Okay, Wicked goes into the AI, and it's going to be tied to your biometrics, right? And again, it's all in the name of convenience. 4 gates at the stadium will have Delta fly-through lanes, which use facial authentication to enable express entry and increase security. And another thing is, like, all these shootings you got going on, as we saw on the first of the year happen in New Orleans, right? This crazy guy just ran through the crowd with his truck. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be used as a security measure to say, look, well, we have too many terror attacks going on in America, so we're going to need to implement biometrics, because if anyone commits a crime, then we're going to be able to know exactly where they are with that Starlink. We're going to be able to know exactly where they are and exactly who they are, okay? And we'll be able to get to the bottom of it quickly, all right? So say goodbye to getting paid under the table. Say goodbye to operating on the underground market. You see what I'm saying? That's not going to exist no more. See, if you going to want to have anything, you're going to have to get it directly from Esau. Okay, that's why Klaus Schwab told you at the beginning of the Great Reset in 2020 that what? You shall own nothing and you will be happy. And that quote is also in his book, The Great Reset. So these devils ain't talking, man. See, these devils are actually moving forward with the agenda. And it's very blatant now, right? So if you get that facial authentication, like if you opt into that Wicked, you're going to be able to just pass through. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be much more convenient for you. A press release says that since becoming operational in October of 24, the Wicked-powered biometric entry lanes have garnered 2,000 enrollments, approaching 10,000 tickets scanned with an average ticket redemption time of 6 seconds. You see that? It's convenience. All right. And now this is the testing ground here in Atlanta. All right. But very soon, this is going to be in every major city near you. Definitely up and down the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? Like I see them doing this in like Seattle, LA, Phoenix, you know what I'm saying? Places like that. DC. Okay. That's where they're going to roll these things out. But the beta, the testing ground is in Atlanta for right now. And they said that they've already, since October of 2024, which was only a few months ago, all right, they've had 2,000 enrollments. All right, so that's pretty impressive for a brand new technology, because usually when brand new technologies come out, people are kind of hesitant to opt into it. But so far, they got 2,000 people enrolled into the Wicked, and over 10,000 tickets sold. All right, and they also say that the time to, I guess, scan your ticket and get through the venue only takes 6 seconds. 72% of members are repeat users. Let's see what else we can get out of here. Oh yeah, check this out. The AFI technology illustrates how AI and biometric event use cases are maturing beyond the ticket line. See, that's what it's all about. All right, now they use the sporting venue because this is a place where a lot of people go to see these games, right? So that's the perfect place to test out this type of technology because you have a lot of traffic going through these stadiums on a regular basis. All right, but they're saying that this AI and biometric event use is maturing past the ticket line, man. So this thing is not only going to be in the venues, but it's going to be in all around you. Okay, the Cincinnati Enquirer reports on how the University of Cincinnati has become the first collegiate program to use the services of Lava AI, which has partnered with Wicked to enhance fan engagement and customer service through algorithmic data processing and biometrics. They all see that's what it's all about. It's all about the biometrics, man. Because listen, this biometric that they're going into is going to be directly tied to your carbon, okay, which we're all made up of carbon, but they want to measure it. All right, pretty much this devil, he wants to measure how much carbon that you can use a day. And there's various videos of insiders going in on how they want to do this. But the bottom line is the moment you step out of line, the moment that you speak against the government or you speak against the elites, they can cut you off like that. So they're going to have total and complete control over your life. All right. Once a fan's identity has been authenticated, touch points around the venue leverage Lava's algorithm to provide loyalty benefits and customized experiences, such as no cash and self-serve express concession stands, which have sped up beer sales at Cleveland Browns Stadium. So also the Cleveland Browns are using this. So this is not only in Atlanta, but this is in multiple sport venues around America, man. All right, so the features of these stadiums are now going to be no cash, okay, because they plan to do away with the cash, right? Self-serve concession stands, which is convenient because everybody's getting fired, everybody's losing their job, and they're going to replace these things with AI. Okay, this is why what Trump is doing is so profound, right? The program will be available for Bearcats season ticket holders starting in fall 25. Lava's client list in the sports world is already extensive. The NFL's Browns, Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Denver Broncos, LA Chargers, and New Orleans Saints use the technology, as do the NBA and its Denver Nuggets, Sacramento Kings, Portland Trailblazers, and New Orleans Pelicans. All right, they got teams in the NFL that use it too. Okay, you got it overseas in Spain. Yeah. Listen, this is where we at. All right. Check that out. Fiji. National Digital ID Plan advances e-commerce strategy launches. So in Fiji now, showing you, man, that look, all these nations are in on it. Okay, all these nations are in on this NWO. They just disagree at the top over who's going to have the most power, over who's going to have the real hegemony. Okay, which is pretty much Amalek. Them small hats just warn against, Moab and everybody else. Moab, Ammon, what I'm saying, Ishmael. But at the very core of what they want to do is to build this new technological tower of Babel. Okay, bring all the nations together once again to speak one language so that they can come against Yahweh Basham El Shai. You see, this is what it's all about. All right, so now in Fiji, yeah, check that out. The government says the digital ID is a tool against poverty. All right, so look, man, Bishop Nate, ain't no microchip. It's June. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, it's going to be June real soon. And guess what? By June, hold on, check this out. And hey, call Lord Yahweh Shmel Shah. That's the spirit. Check this out. The ID steering committee has been working on establishing the digital ID system since the South Pacific countries cabinet approved the project in June. It's June. Ain't no microchip last year. All right, Bishop Nate, man. All right, so look, that's the spirit, man. All right, so hey, come June this year, Esau could roll this thing out full force. And it's not only America, it's not only Europe. This is happening in Asia. It's happening in Japan. It's happening. Well, they already got that thing going in China. All right, it's only a matter of time before, this comes to the U.S. You see, so yeah, this is where we at. Okay, the Revelation 13 to 16, that prophecy that let's go to it and close out on that. All right, because look, if you can't see that this is where this devil and these heathens are going, because look, you gotta understand too, these heathens know that they at the end of the road. So this is their last ditch effort to hold on to their hegemony, to try and come up against Yahweh Bashmel Shai and establish their everlasting rule on the earth. You see what I'm saying? Because matter of fact, we can get Psalms. Why do the heathen rage? Because really, their whole desire is to break. In Psalms 2:1, their whole why they're doing this is to escape slavery to Yahweh Bashmel Shai and the Israelites. Psalms 2:1. It says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? And the vain thing they imagine is to establish this new world order, to overcome the Most High, to overcome the Lord's people, and to pretty much X out the Lord and have the earth, pretty much do what they want on the earth, right? But it's vain because it's not going to happen. There's nothing in that hope. Verse 2, the kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord Yahweh Bashmel Shai and against his anointed, saying, pay attention right here, verse 3, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. All right, so in verse 3 it says, let us break their bands asunder. Okay, which means to let us escape slavery to the Israelites. Now, let's get that in the NLT real quick. All right, Psalms 2 in verse 3 in the NLT. Let us break their chains, they cry, and free ourselves from slavery to God. Because what does the kingdom of heaven entail? The kingdom of heaven entails the heathen being subdued, being put in chains, being slaves to the Israelites, okay, for 1,000 years. Now Esau, he gonna be a slave too, but his ass gonna be burnt up and done away with after his captivity. All right, but this is what they trying to do with this new world order, man, to free themselves from slavery to God, because that's what's written. That's their judgment. Okay, because for what they've done to the Lord's people, and what they've done to the earth, and the way they've blasphemed against the Heavenly Father, they gonna have to pay with slavery, man. Okay, and the scriptures say, as it is written, that he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. And all these heathen nations at one point or another had us in captivity, man. So it's their judgment that they gonna go into captivity, but they trying to free themselves from that judgment. but as it says in Psalms 2:1, why are the nations so angry? Why do they waste their time with futile plans? Yeah, these plans are futile. It's not going to amount to nothing. Okay? You can try to put together the best plan that you can possibly put together. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen that you're going to escape the judgment of Yahweh Bashmel Shai. All right? It's not going to happen, man. Okay? Nimrod with the Tower of Babel, he thought that was a foolproof plan. All right, but what did the Most High do? See, the Most High sent the angels down, confounded the language, and they couldn't build the tower no more. You see what I'm saying? So, hey, it tells you in Job 20 that in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. All right, the Most High is going to rain his wrath upon him while he's eating. So just when these Edomites and these nations think that they about to establish their NWO, the Lord is going to disrupt it, man. See, the Lord is going to raise up a standard against these devils, and it's all going to fail. All right, now when you go to Revelation 13, all right, because understanding what these heathen want to do, this is how they're going to try to do it, because they're going to try to enslave humanity. All right, they're going to try to even enslave the Lord's people. Revelation 13:16, he require everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand. It should be in the right hand or in the forehead. And no one could buy or sell anything without that mark, which was either the name of the beast or the number representing his name. Let's go to the KJV. You see? Because all these things should now be tied together, man. This is, the words of Yahweh Shemel Shah coming to pass. Revelation 13:16 in the KJV. And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand. And that word for mark there is charagma in the Greek. Okay? Which means an incision, a cut, an imprinted mark. Okay? Which that's going to come in the form of the Neuralink. Okay? That's going to go on your forehead, inside your brain, and also the right hand. Okay? People already got that already. All right? But they're going to mandate it to receive a mark in their right hand on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And of course, the number of this man, which is Esau, is 666. All right, and I forget what you call that symbol. Well, let me see something real quick. Okay, hand symbol. I'm trying to see if it's this. Yeah, yup. Now, this is what they call the OK hand symbol, right? But as you see, this is 666. All right, and this is a common theme that the Masons use, all right, to denote that they down with the program. All right, as you see, the way he got his hand, it looks like 6 sixes. Okay, that's what it represents. Okay, 666. You see? So, that's with these devils, man. Okay? And if you notice, then you'll see a lot of celebrities, man, like a lot of high profile elites, they do this hand signal, but it's been put out there as something benevolent, as okay, like, when they do their hands like that. But anybody doing their hands like that, just know that they're in the know. Okay, just know that they're down with the program and they know what's going on. You see? So these Edomites, man, like, then with the the WEF, matter of fact, no, Salaki, it's the CERN logo. Let me see if I can get that real quick. CERN logo. Just to show you again that it's the same thing. Yeah, check it out. Right? CERN. You see 666 in the CERN logo. You know what I'm saying? You got one CERN up top, you got one in the middle, and you got one coming out from the bottom. Okay? And who owns these organizations, man? Who owns CERN? Who owns the WEF? Well, it's Esau. All right, so this is his number, man. Check that out. 666. You see? That's the CERN logo, man. So just to let you know that these devils are working with some high level left-handed satanic energy. All right? So the number of this man, 666, is connected directly to Esau, okay? And he is the end of the world, pursuing the second Ezra 6 and 9. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out right here. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kadash. Call Haloim La, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect. Come Rasha Allah, and Wa Baba Ball. On to the next one. Shalom.